Hi everyone, I'm Michi, and let's sit in for a while. So I hope you're having a great morning, evening, or afternoon there. So I'm just excited to actually be hosting this because I'm like a big fan of these people. Like I mean, I love what they're doing. I love how they're like creating communities and making a difference to a lot of people's lives. So instead of me introducing themselves, I want them to introduce themselves, what they do, and what type of communities they're leading. So let's start off with Zach. So Zach, would you like to introduce yourself?
All right, sure. Thanks, Mitchy. Hi everyone. I'm Zach, and I help run Sydney Cokerheads, which is one of the largest, if not the largest, iOS Mac OS developer meetup in Australia. So I think I'm a little bit different from the other people here in that I didn't start the the community that I help run. It was actually started well over 10 years ago, I think, by someone named Mark, and had a few different people help out over the last sort of 10, 15 years. But the gist of it is we're a monthly iOS meetup. It's part of the global Cokerheads network. And we meet every month to discuss all things iOS, macOS, really anything Apple platform related. We've had some great talks over the years on all of the platforms. And yeah, that's kind of where I fit into this community leader. It's a really great welcoming community, and that's one of the things that I found when I first joined, started attending Sydney Cokerheads. It was really welcoming, even for somebody very new to the community who didn't have much experience and who didn't really know what he was doing there. And that was one of the things that really drew me to that community, and why I've been so involved over the last couple of years now that I can hopefully help contribute back to that community. And I know Marlon's participated and helped run the Sydney Cokerheads community as well. So there's a bit of overlap here. But yeah, that's kind of the gist of it.
Oh, then Marion, you should be the second guest.
Sort of quite naturally. Yeah, so as Kai mentioned, as Zach mentioned, I used to run Cocoa Heads in Sydney, but now I'm running a meetup in Vancouver together with my partner Kai. I'm originally from Sweden, but I live in Australia, and I helped Mark organize. I have not been there for as long as Mark was, but I did help him out organizing some of the events. I was co-organizer there, and then when I moved to Canada and to Vancouver, there were some meetups when I got here, but I felt like I was missing that regularity. And the good thing with Cocoa Heads in Sydney was that we always had this, like, every third Thursday of the month we would catch up, and people had this opportunity to meet everyone else in the community in the same city. And that was something I wanted to sort of get in Vancouver. So my partner and I, we're both iOS developers, so we decided to just start a meetup that was going to go on every second Sunday. We do it in different coffee shops, and the idea is sort of that everyone should have an opportunity to meet each other and catch up about everything that's going on in their life. We have many people coming who are indie developers, some people working remotely for other companies, and it's just this great place for people to catch up and talk about development, or if they're stuck on something, or if there's something that they're excited about, they should be able to catch up. At the moment, we're running it online just because of COVID, but I think we have noticed that we actually got the opportunity to have a lot of people from all over the world joining us. We have some people from Australia joining us sometimes, some people from parts of the US, and some people from Europe. So we're probably going to keep on having every second one online and every other one in person once we get back to that. I do also organize one more. I'm going to keep it quick. I also organize another meetup called Excoders. Yeah. So I do help co-organizing that one as well, with a person named Alan here, and together with Kai as well. That one is more formal. We usually have talks similar to what Cocoa Heads has. We usually have 2 to 3 talks happening every second month or so, usually in person, but now online as well. So if anyone is looking to speak at an event, let me know as well. But that's everything. That's pretty much it. But I'm sure we'll get into more details throughout the evening as well.
How about you, Alan? So Alan is like a different type of community, still an iOS developer community, not your typical Cocoa Head or like the Xcoders, right? So Alan.
Yeah, so hello everyone. I'm Alan Weary. I run an event, a monthly event called iOS Dev Happy Hour. And it's been fun so far. Roughly 200 to 300 plus iOS dev developers, both aspiring and current. And by current, I mean currently have a job, whether it be freelance or working with a company, attend this event every month from all over the world. And it's been fun running it. I do have three admins, Ting Becker, Alex Silver, and Frank Foster, who helped me run the event as well. But it's been going on for 10 months now. So I'm really happy and really excited to be on this panel with some of the greats here. It's an honor. And yeah, what else can I say? It's just been
Right.
fun time.
Congratulations for the 10th, what do you call this? 10th meetup, like
Yeah.
for the iOS Dev. Or it's kind of like a milestone, the 1 to 10. I don't know. Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
just like a number. I'm sorry. I mean, this is something about. It's
No
actually great.
worries. No worries.
It's actually great meeting Alan. I've seen iOS Dev R, but last year I didn't really went online. So lately I've learned about that after. But I met a lot of people because of just attending the first iOS Dev R. Like I met Rick because I saw Rick talk about the underdog
Mhm.
devs, and I really love what he's doing. So we can like ask Rick. Let us know what underdog dev is about.
Yeah, definitely. And it is a lot some crossover here, like Malin was saying. Like for us, we relied a lot heavily on Alan early on to help us with reach. But anyway, so yeah, my name is Rick. I'm an iOS engineer and the founder of Underdog Devs. Um, Founder has like a connotation that's probably much larger than anything I do. Like it's really more about like there's a lot of people that do a lot of things. Um, a lot of core members that make it happen. It just started as like a group of people that I was trying to mentor. And for context, I got into the iOS, I got into the software engineering after I got out of prison. I come from like a troubled background, made a lot of poor choices when I was younger, had a lot of issues, like aggression issues and stuff. And eventually I developed and made better choices from when I was a teenager. And I got out and I had this, I got a rap sheet. I've got like records. So I knew I was going to either A, not have a good, decent job, or B, get a skill that's in demand. So I realized that coding was in demand, got the skill, got a job. Took a while because I didn't know anyone from, my past didn't have those types of people. So I didn't know, I didn't know a single engineer in the industry. But so friends and people asked how I did it, and I started helping them, trying to help them. And at some point I realized I didn't have the experience. And but I had met some amazing developers. As you all know, the iOS community has some really, really cool people. And so I'm like, let me just ask, let me just ask around and see if there's people that have more experience and that are more into the industry that can help these people that I'm trying to help. And some of them were friends early on. Some were just people that reached out, but most of them were formerly incarcerated. And lots of people rose to the occasion. Lots of people were like, "Yeah, let's do this. Let's create this thing. Let's create a support group that can help these people." And people like Big Nerd Ranch like really came through. Got books. They like helped us with like we even have like spots in like some of their boot camps. We have like they were a core piece of it. And then for Reach, I had friends like Alan who helped me, who were like, "Hey, you talk at the beginning." And so this was like early on in iOS Dev happy hour. I didn't think it was going to get that big, right? Like none of us thought it was going to be that big. So after a few times, it got so big that Alan was like single-handedly really helping us with Reach. And we ended up just getting some amazing engineers from all over the industry. And so now what we are basically, and it's not specifically iOS, but incidentally, it ended up with mostly iOS engineers because of our network, like how our community is very tight knit. So we have a ton of mostly iOS engineers, not all. And we do things from like one-on-one mentoring to code assessment to like interview stuff. And we don't only help like formerly incarcerated now, we help anyone from a disadvantaged background. Like if you're underrepresented or you come from like a lower socioeconomic level, we basically like are a support group for you. We even now have a stipend program we're just about to start this coming month where because the main idea is like economic mobility, right? Like having a skill that can help people that maybe not would have those opportunities, But it's hard if you have to work, right? Or if you have like kids or whatever. There's filters that prevent people that need it the most. And so now we've, because we have a couple of really amazing people, they basically, we were able to find the funds to get a stipend program so that they won't have to work for 3 to 6 months. So it's kind of cool. Now it's up to us volunteers. It's a whole volunteer program, just a bunch of mentors to help create the structure so that they can get to where they need to go. And their full-time job will be coding. So, and it all started basically because a bunch of cool iOS engineers, across the industry were like, "Hey, yeah, let's do this thing."
Uh, to be honest, like when I met Rick, it's like one of like the best story that like when we're like talking at the rooftop, right, Rick? So the imaginary rooftop, the virtual rooftop.
Right.
It's a virtual rooftop, and it's just like I really love his story, his passion in like helping a lot of people, and that's one thing that I really want to like amplify, and that's the reason why I wanted to do like the community leaders panel, because like there's a lot of people out there who probably needs to learn more about your story, learn more about the
Right.
reason why we're doing this. And there's a lot of people who wanted to help, and I hope whatever this panel that we have, we can like help more people, like we can bring more people to like Underdog Dev, we can bring more people to iOS Dev or to Core Coffee, to Cocoa Heads, and more, right? So yeah, thank you so much for just starting the Underdog Devs. So yeah, and before we like jump into to some more discussion, I forgot to ask if you have some questions to the speakers. There's this QR code on the screen. All you have to do is scan that and then put your questions there. Right now, I see Jess here, and she's saying like, "So nice seeing some familiar faces. What you guys are doing for the community never ceases to amaze me." So that's like Jess, who actually just basically posts on the Padlet. So to everyone who's watching right now, there's a small QR code on the side. You can definitely do comments, questions. Just post it there, and then we'll answer it later. Okay. And then back to Alan. I guess I didn't really heard what's the reason why you started iOS Dev R. Would it be okay to share that as well?
Yeah, yeah. So, for those who don't know, I recently switched. Well, I don't know if it's so recent now, but a year and a half ago, I switched from a career in sales to a career in software engineering, specifically iOS. So I work at Yelp now, and I made the transition from Atlanta, Georgia, over to California, which is a very, very long way, right? But I was super excited to be over in California, especially because I knew WWDC was coming around, and I was like, I am gonna go. Well, as we all know, what was it, 2000, whatever that year, 2020, we had the pandemic, and WWDC went virtual, which kind of left me in a weird space because I was really so excited for the community events that surround WWDC, and so uh, without that, I was just kind of left watching WWDC like I would usually do at home, right? So I kind of was just like, oh man, I wish there was something that I wish there was some event that we could do during this time. Well, unfortunately, it wasn't until about September when it was decided that I would create an event, and which was iOS Dev Happy Hour. And I have to give credit to my company because sometimes after a project was completed, we would have like a happy hour. And so one day we had one, and I think a couple days later, I just went to Twitter and said, there should definitely be a iOS Dev Happy Hour. And pretty much the whole response was just, yeah, I'll come, but like you should do it. Like you do it and everyone will come. I was like, okay, I'll put something together. Within a week, I had an Eventbrite link, Zoom link, and everything. And I think the first event had 89 signups, 49 people showed up, which blew me away because I thought it was just going to be me and one other person. But it turned out it was me and 48 others. So it was really cool. And ever since then, it just kept growing and growing. I think the max we've ever had was 373 people show up. The last event we had just under 300, which I think it was 280, I believe was the number. So uh, yeah, that's kind of its origin story. Just looking for a way that the community can come together, especially during this pandemic time. And so it's been fun. I looked at the numbers recently, or the statistics. I think it said 95 countries have registered for iOS Dev Happy Hour since September. So yeah, it's people, developers, iOS developers from all over the world, from different backgrounds, different experience levels. So it's really just a place where we can come together, share our knowledge, share our experiences, share our struggles, or just hang out, right? The last one was just yesterday, and in my breakout room, we end up playing a game called Scribble, right? Just to hang out and have fun. So
But I think it's awesome that you just decided to like you saw that you wanted that type of community and then you decided to put it together. And I think that's sort of what I felt as well with Core Coffee. Like worst case, I just go with with Kai, the two of us, we go there and just have coffee together. And that will be fine too. But it's awesome to see that there are people who want those communities and they are going ahead and joining them. So I think that's something in general I would like to like encourage people who might be interested in starting communities once the pandemic is over and once they want to meet in person. I think just opening, like if you have a specific topic in mind that you want to talk about, if it's watchOS development in particular, like maybe you're really passionate about that and you want to meet people, I think it's awesome to like just send out an invite and see what happens, and then you can sort of work out the logistics from there. And I think that's something I think like you, Ellen, I saw that you added the Slack group as well after the events, and I think that is awesome that you're sort of continuing the discussion somewhere else. And I think things will work out once you see people joining and once you see what the community wants as well.
yeah, and I kind of preach sort of that to a lot of people. Just essentially just do it, right? You can ask people, will they, would they like this or whatever? But at the end of the day, just go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
People will come if they enjoy it. You don't want to just have random people join who have no, I guess, use for what you need or what you're providing. So just create it, and the people who are attracted to it will join. And I think that's what happened to iOS Dev Happy Hour. I think that's what happened to everyone's community here. It's people were
Yeah.
attracted to it, and it could be because of your personality, right? You put your own spin on things, and so people will join.
Actually, that's true. Like for like the Philippines, we don't have like we did have like a Slack channel like the iOS coders, but we didn't really had that meetup. So initially, I started like the Women of Code Manila first. So I just kind of like make sure that that is stable enough before I do another community, which was the Swift PH. So it's kind of like before there wasn't any like discussion, like there wasn't any like meetup specifically for iOS developers. So the solution was just build one, right? And it's like we just like have a very few iOS developers in the Philippines. Like we can count it in in our fingers, but we know each other. We're just happy that we meet once a month, and then we just like, hey, who wants to talk about something that they did this month, right? Or maybe we can talk about like how like maybe like our like experience at work specifically, or like how's the interview process in each company, or maybe those kind of stuff that you don't really have like a chance to talk about. Like it's basically just like having like a group of friends that you meet just once a month, and then you talk about like topics that you're just interested on. So that's
Yeah.
kind of like the intention on the community here in the Philippines. And so yeah, so in the pandemic, kind of like paused for a while, but we tried doing online. The only difference, like in online setting, I do. Um, it's okay that we have like other countries joining as well. However, sometimes we prefer like speaking in our language, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, because like we speak English when we work, right? and then you just want to like talk right in your own language, and then once if somebody like from outside joined, and you don't want, it's not that we don't want you, right, or something, it's just like we just have to like all of a sudden like pick ourselves up and then speak in English, right? So yeah, so it's more of like having that adds another barrier, but we're just happy like just meeting other people as well. So we paused for a while, and then from last year, most of our events wasn't really a talk, but more just of catching up, like how are you doing? So what's life right now? So we just meet like online and stuff. Yeah. So I definitely would like to encourage others as well that if they want to start something, if there's nothing there in your city, that I mean, no iOS developer group, no Mac developer group, or whatever Apple developer group is there, it's as simple as just like starting your own, right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
now we can actually, yeah. Sorry, man.
No, and I think it's also quite like in most cities you would live, there will be at least one other person who would be interested in iOS development or what you do. And I think if it's just a way for you to connect with those people, that's awesome. Like I moved quite a lot, and every time I move to a place, I look for the meetups because I know that like that's a very like great place to get to know people who have similar interests to you. And then like many people, like I think most of the people who go to Core Coffee, I also hang out with like outside of Core Coffee. And I think that was just like for me a great way of getting to know more people in the city I lived in. But yeah, even if you're not new to a city, if you just want to find the people who have similar interests, I think getting those groups is a really, really good starting point.
Yeah. There's one thing, one question. I think I mean it's easy. It's not easy to start. It's a step to start, right? But
Mm.
once you're there, right? Now, like for example, it started with 49 people, then now it grew from 300. Then you have, and then it means that every month you actually have to maintain it, right? That is a challenge, right? I mean, there are a lot of challenges, right? Like I talked to Zach like before, like Zach said, like, oh, I'm having an event right now. I have to think of this. Of course, I'm also working on the side. So those kind of stuff, most of us, I mean, I assume that most of us here are like kind of like doing this for like a volunteer thing. Like it's not really intended like to like earn money in it, like right. So so Seth, like on your end, like organizing like the Sydney Cocoa Heads, how, what are the challenges that you face right now aside from like the pandemic, like the online thing, like,
Yeah.
like if it's say let's say there's no pandemic,
Mhm.
right, what are your usual challenges like organizing it every month?
Yeah, like the big one is finding speakers and finding speakers who represent different backgrounds as well, and not always having the same people give talks. Not that there's anything wrong with the same people giving talks. We have a lot of regular speakers who are great. But also sometimes, you know, we might go 3 or 4 months with speakers that we've had always in the last year, and then we think it's time to bring in somebody new or see if we can get a new perspective, because one of the things that we want to do is cater to everyone. So we actually, at least for as long as I've been running it, haven't turned down a talk. We've offered some suggestions for how to improve or change things, but we don't ever want to turn down talks if they're in any way related to iOS development. And you know, sometimes you get someone who comes in and says, oh, this talk might be too simple, or on the other end, this talk might be too in-depth. But we kind of want a range. And so yeah, just trying to find the content and balance it for everyone, because you know, for some people, or for oftentimes we have people in the room, it's their first time. They might be young, they might be more on the junior side of the spectrum, but then other times we might have somebody talking about something that is very niche and maybe only one or two other people have ever had to work with that framework in depth. But still, I think it offers value at both ends of the spectrum. And I like to think back, I still feel very new in the community, even though I've been attending for like 4 or 5 years now. It's gone really fast, but I still think back to when I started joining, I didn't really understand probably 80 or 90% of the talks, but it was still quite valuable to just like listen in and sort of soak up what was happening. And then occasionally we'd get a talk from somebody more junior and I'd be like, right, I completely understand that. That's wonderful. But it was also a really good way to learn. So yeah, trying to cater for everyone, finding talks that are appropriate and from a wide range of speakers is all very important. And then the other, not so much challenge, but the other thing that we have to keep in mind is like what venue we're going to host at and what catering we're going to have. So we've been very lucky for many years. We've had a consistent venue sponsor, but there have been months when they've been unable to host, and then that's always kind of a last minute scramble to try and find a new venue. And now coming out the other side of COVID, we have been finding new venues the last couple of months. And so that's, I think, a new challenge we're going to have to deal with probably for the rest of the year, is finding venues that we can use, and something we haven't had to deal with before. So that's going to be lots of fun. Yeah.
And congratulations to SAC because they had their first in-person event, right?
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
that was wonderful.
you're like the rare communities who can do that now. But
yeah, we're very lucky that in Sydney there's almost no COVID, pretty much no COVID. So we were able to meet in person last month, and then again this coming Thursday. So in 3 days, we're doing another one in person. So we're very lucky to be able to do that, and it's very exciting to be back in person.
Yeah, but you do still stream the event, right?
We do. We have been doing a hybrid. Well, last month, it's only 1 month, but yeah, we did a hybrid. This month, we're also going to stream online, probably for the rest of the year at least. We're going to keep the online streaming. We never used to before COVID. The online streaming for Cokeheads wasn't really a thing, but I think it's going to be something we keep at least, I think for at least for a year, if not forever. It'll just depend on the venues we get and whether it's possible. But my goal is definitely for the next few venues that we find to make sure they have a live streaming capability.
Yeah, because I remember joining in the last one. I think it was probably 1 a.m. for us.
That sounds about right, yeah.
I saw it, I'm like, wow, it feels so weird to see them be there in person, but it was cool.
And it is nice to be able to open up the meetup to anyone. And that was one of the nice things about the pandemic, particularly early on. We were getting people from all around the world. People were waking up in the US to join the meetup, and we had some people attend from Europe, and that was really cool to make it accessible to everyone, because a lot of the time the talks are fantastic and they're a great resource that any iOS developer, no matter where you are in the world, can benefit from. And so to be able to record it and have it online for people to watch later, I think that is a really important thing. We'll just see how much demand there is going forward as well, so that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and I also think for speakers, it's quite nice if they know that they can, if they want to have their talk recorded, they can get it recorded as well. So I think
for sure.
Yeah. But Malin, on your end, do you have the same issue as Zach? Because you have a different type of meetup, right? It's not as if it's like a bit not a meetup, like a formal meetup, right?
So yes, I do run both. So the Xcoders is more formal, sort of like Cocoheads, and that one I agree. Like finding speakers is definitely the hardest part, but also finding. I think we try to sort of open it up now, find people more globally who can speak, and then the time zones are always a bit more problematic. But we thought, I think we rather, because we will go back to in person with that meetup at some point, we thought if we can get more international speakers and sort of utilize the fact that we are online, that will be a really good option. So we've been trying to do that. But yeah, I think for us it's also we also, one thing I struggle with the online is like keeping it. How would you describe it? Like, I think many people, when they join an online setting, they might be less comfortable talking to a bigger group, because they know that as soon as they are starting to talk, their focus is on them, right? Their face might be bigger on everyone's screen and everyone's looking at them. So we've sort of been, both with Xcoders and with Core Coffee, we've been trying to make it more relaxed for people and really try to focus on smaller groups. And I think Alan does that as well. Breaking up into breakout rooms, and we tend to do quite small groups just because we want to simulate that sort of feeling of being at a coffee shop and you just talking to the people at your end of the table, because people are more comfortable talking then, rather than I'm happy to go into a very niche part of technology and 20 people looking at me, but I think everyone isn't super comfortable. If they have a specific question about tvOS, or they have a specific thing that they are really passionate about and it's not relevant to everyone else, then people are more uncomfortable with that. So I think getting that format right took us some time, but I feel like we have something that works pretty well right now.
Yeah. Another thing with that is, I guess some speakers are more they're willing to speak in front if there's no camera on, right? Like for example, they just want to like, it's easier for me to like talk to like maybe 25 to 100 people. I can see them, nobody's like there's no camera on. But if you put me up like online, and then you have a lot of, we have a lot of trolls and stuff, right? That kind of like add to the fear, because it's not, it's a good to have like reach, but at the same time you don't know what others might say. I'm not sure if I'm relaying the thought. Is it that, is it yeah, so I guess
Yeah,
it's more,
Yeah.
I think
yeah,
people
so
are feeling a bit more shy online. Do you get the same feeling, Alan? I know you had some issues with people also getting the link and like.
yeah,
Yeah. So just to, I guess, touch on the original question of finding people. When I'm looking for someone, it's usually just people who have recently accepted their first iOS development job, right? Like that's hard to find. I've been lucky enough that people have found me, or it's been people in the community. And since I sort of follow people in my own community, I then see the tweet and I would, ask them, do they want to speak? But it's very hard, especially to find people of a diverse background, right? I don't want to have the same, I don't want to say type of people, but like, I don't want to have the stereotypical, uh, uh, white man from the United States speaking every single time,
event.
right? The whole goal is, I want people to see people who look like them, right? And so finding people from different cultures, different cities, different countries, different ethnicities is super, super hard. I think I've been so at it, right? But it is hard to find people to speak. On top of finding sponsors who can actually provide value to my community, right? I've had plenty sponsor people who want to sponsor and reach out to me, but I have to look and say, okay, does this benefit the iOS dev community? Are you hiring? Okay, yes, that helps, right? Do you have a technology that helps the iOS community? Yes, that helps. But if it's just an app that is fun to use, or a liquor company or something like that, that doesn't provide value to the iOS community, right? Being iOS Dev Happy Hour, you would think that I would have a liquor company, right? But
Man, you
that
turned
doesn't.
ABC down. Come on, Alan. You turned that big ABC liquor contract
yeah,
down.
yeah, man. I turned it down. It was millions and millions of dollars. No, but no, it doesn't provide value to the iOS community. So um, I've even had a sponsor that I had to that end up changing how they wanted to sponsor, and it's like but that doesn't help, right? So I can't have you. um, and so yeah, finding people is very hard. Um, and then on the topic of recording, I don't record iOS Dev Happy Hour
Yeah.
because when I have my speakers who are talking about their journey into iOS development, like that's really personal, right? That's really personal. And to record that and then put that online for now everybody to see, basically, like to see your vulnerability that way can really, I think, do worse for someone's uh, mental state if they're not used to speaking out like that, right? So I don't
Yeah,
record, and I think it's important that I don't. On top of the fact that you can't record breakout rooms in the first place, so people who have asked me to, oh, you should record the event. I want to see it later. I want to, feel a part of it. Well, if I apologize that the time is at a certain time, but if you really want to be a part of it, just join the event, because you're not going to get the same experience if I did record it in the first place. I want you
Yeah.
to be an active part of the community, not a passive part of the community.
Yeah, we get the same request many times that they want us to
Mhm.
record it, and I think always like if I host Xcoders, that's different because speakers usually have a presentation prepared. But then it's always up to the speaker. Like if that's something they want online, they can record and we can release it. But otherwise, I agree with you. Like it is sort of that, like you want people to feel comfortable and feel relaxed in the setting and feel like they can open up and like chat about anything. And I think especially when you have breakout rooms, I wouldn't think it gives that much value to people to listen to after the fact either, because you do want to join in the conversation, right? So
Yeah,
how do you
exactly.
usually handle that when people ask you that?
Ask me to record to
Yeah.
record. I really simply just say no. Unfortunately, I don't record, and kind of leave it at that.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah,
And then yeah, it's nothing I can say after that. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
no, I don't record.
it makes
But I
sense,
think
right? I
it's,
mean,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, because
When
like sorry, yeah, but
when you
it
go,
makes sense. Okay. It makes sense that not sorry. It makes sense that not to record, because if you actually dare, like if you're so vulnerable sharing your experience to the group, and then somebody records it and then posts it in YouTube, it kind of like violates at some point who you are, because you find like you go to IOS dev, maybe dev PR, because you think that they're your friends at some way,
Mhm.
right? In some way, and then you're
Exactly.
comfortable. Yeah, right. You're comfortable to share um, something that you don't really share to others. Like, I mean,
Hmm.
you share. There's kind of like that camaraderie in a way, and then
Hmm.
during breakout sessions, of course, if you think about it, you won't be able to like uh sorry, am I echoing? Am I okay? Sorry. I felt like if you record it and then just put it online, it seems like you're gossiping from other people's lives. Right? I'm sorry. It's just like,
Yeah.
you're just like a bystander, which you
Hmm.
shouldn't be. Like if you attended like ISTEP APR, at some point you should contribute in a way that if people are sharing at some point, if you can share, just
Hmm.
share something, a little bit of you. You don't even have to share it right away. So I
Yeah.
guess it makes sense to not record it. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
and when I do the breakout rooms, it is smaller groups. I'm not sure how small your groups are, Malin, but I know mine are between like 7 and 9 people, and so that's still small, but it might be on the higher end of what people would think of a breakout room. Mainly because I know we have aspiring devs and like more experienced, and so I want to make sure I get a balance of those two, since it's completely randomized,
mm,
right? And so if I end up doing just four, it's very possible that all beginners end up in the same room, in the
yeah.
same breakout room, and they're asking each other like, oh, what's this? And everybody's like, well, I don't know, I'm learning too. And so I try to keep it on the higher end, just so I can at least feel more comfortable knowing that there's the chance that there's going to be a much better mix of experienced and then beginner.
Mm,
But yeah, I encourage everyone to speak. Of course, if you don't want to speak,
yeah,
I mute your mic and turn your video off. That's absolutely okay. But I encourage people to speak because one, communication is, for me, has always been like the absolute skill you have to get better at. And especially navigating the job market, communication is super important. So I encourage people to speak because it's going to help your communication skills. It's going to help your speaking skills. Just sharing anything is going to help. So
yeah.
yeah.
I'm looking at the one question here. I think it's a very good question. We can maybe start with this one. It's like, how do you pay for all the community event, the cost in the community? Like, see, I don't like. How do you pay for all the community event costs? Right? Rick is like doing an amazing job with like underdog devs, and the stipend coming in and stuff. How do you do it? Like, we can start with Rick and the others as well. Like,
We just have a car wash, and then
oh.
that's how we get our. I'm just kidding. We don't.
I,
We
okay,
don't.
that's true.
I
Sorry,
just
I thought.
I
Okay.
just beg for money. I beg for money. I'm like a professional beggar now for money to get this. Now, like honestly, we started out. We were trying not to go down that route because we didn't. If we did get money, the original idea was that the core members, we wouldn't take money like as salaries and stuff. Instead, we would funnel it into the mentees so that then they wouldn't have to work. That way, you'd be affecting and impacting the people that most need it. Um, we also weren't considering like how much time it takes. Like, there were some things that took a lot of time, and running this and being like doing constant code checks and mentoring and meeting with them consistently and doing like resume now, all this stuff takes a lot of time. Um, so anyways, yeah, we at some point we realized it's kind of naive to think that no one will ever take a salary with underdog devs, right? We have we have 200 people, maybe, I think it is, that are software engineers from different places who all give their time, and that's awesome. But like, and they're like some amazing developers. They work at some wild places. I don't even know why they like. Like they easily could like overlook a small little group like us and not help, and they do. We got we've got people like from the Siri team and people from wherever that like are committed. Even like I don't know if you saw the spring into Swift, Michi, but that was a lot of software engineers giving a lot of hours of their time. We couldn't afford that, right? Like, there's no way you could pay for that. I can't pay Chris Latner. How am I going to pay Chris Latner to come in and give a talk? But he did. He did. And it basically was all out of compassion. Like, everybody's just cool with the mission. At some point, that does peter off, though, and you want to get if you want to stay efficient, you're going to have to make sure it's worth everyone's while. We lucked up, I lucked up, I think, with just having some friends. Kind of like I said early, like I was just lucky. Like, Alan was cool, and he was cool with me, so he's like, "Hey, go ahead and talk early on, at our meetup." And likewise, we have other people who I've met along the way who support us financially. So that's how we're getting the stipend, because that's a lot of money, to pay each of them, and they're all United States based. So that it's no cheap thing to get them basically 6 months of rent paid, bill, their bills and everything paid for. So real, I to be honest with you, anecdotally speaking, like, you have to be lucky. That's my advice. Be lucky. No, I guess you just have to ask. People will align with your mission if you ask and you're sincere. And I think if you're transparent, like, one benefit I have, sometimes it's bit me, sometimes it's caused me issues, but being very transparent, like I'm just very like, let's not play games. Like, here's the thing we're trying to do, trying to get the people jobs, trying to help them from the bottom, go to the, starting from the bottom. And, we need some help to do this. Can you want to help? And I think some people appreciate that,
Yeah,
And,
definitely.
what's interesting, one last point, is that there are so many people who wanted to help, were looking for avenues to help, and just didn't know. And I don't mind reaching out. Like, I literally probably have reached out to 300 people. Like, if you see someone on Twitter that is some like iOS engineer, or is like, I probably, if I didn't reach out to them, I bet you I've reached out to one of their friends. So, like, a lot of it is just putting yourself out there and asking for the support and having a mission that people can get behind.
Yeah. Somebody said, like, Rick's story is really inspiring. I met him on Twitter a few years ago, and seeing him during the event made my heart fill with joy. So I just want you to know. Yeah, right. So it's just
Thank
like,
you.
so yeah, thank you. Did you hear that? Right? I'm just kidding. Sorry, I'm just looking at the board.
Well, that's also like, Michi. Let me just add that too for context, because I'm
Yeah.
not very special, but I do have a unique background. Like, I have a unique life story that's very different. I spent almost my adult life in prison, and so when people hear that, they're shocked, they're surprised, and so it does get, it's an easy marketing. I don't know how to say it other than like to say like it's marketing
Because it's a
ploy.
story. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, people
Um,
like stories of redemption. They like seeing people that have changed and made better choices, and it's appealing to people. We all want crime to be lower, right? So you love seeing when people are like, "I've changed," and everyone embraces it. That, it doesn't always happen that way, but in progressive circles, you get that. You get a lot of that. You get people that are just awesome, and they want to embrace you, and they like help you up. Literally had never touched a smartphone when I got out. Almost 4.5 years ago, had never touched a smartphone. So for me, like, if it weren't for like the groups of people that were like really cheering and supporting my story, I never would have. I would still be like working stuff I don't want to do, like construction stuff that I didn't like. So for me, it was like a huge thing to get the support and get the help from people as I met them. People like Alan who didn't even know me, they're like, "Yeah, come on, come on, happy hour." I mean, we had talked, but anyway. So yeah, my story
Yeah,
does
no,
end
it was
there.
an honor to have you. It really is
Oh,
every
thanks,
month.
man.
So every month, definitely.
I think it isn't really just that you have a backstory. I guess it's basically the person itself, right? Everybody has like a backstory, right? I mean, if you think about it, somebody might be another Rick, but doesn't have your passion to help somebody else, right? That's a different thing, right? I mean, that person changed, which is good. It's good, but you kind of like step up to another level to the extent like, hey, I want to help somebody else, right? You decided to do that, and not everybody, I guess not everybody has that, what do you call this, initiative,
Right,
um
right, right.
right? Because what you're doing right now with Underdog Dev, you're carrying a lot of shoulders. I mean, not shoulders. I don't know
A
what the
lot of
term
weight
is.
on your shoulders. Yeah,
There a lot of
yeah.
weight on your shoulders right now, because every time you actually get a person who's like giving them a stipend, it means that you have to maintain that for like how many months, right? You have to think about those
Right,
people. You cannot just like, hey, I'm gonna give you a stipend, and then maybe after 3 months just leave them. So those are like basically your kids now, right? For like 6 months. And if you think about that, that's kind of like, yeah, carrying them like for like such a long time, and the dedication to this is not just like a good backstory, right? So don't
right.
don't think that way, right? Yeah. So I just
Well,
wanted you
Mitch,
to
some
go.
of it is more like deferment. You know what I mean? It's not. It's more like, hey, I can't do this. Can y'all help? So like, I mean, like some of it is kind of like me unshouldering the burden. Like I realized I didn't have the experience. I didn't have the knowledge. I could code. I learned to program. I could, eventually got a job. And I know some. There are things that are unique to our path. Like you were saying with your language, there are things that are
Yeah,
unique to some of us. We understand if you come from lower SES, and it doesn't matter if you're woman, black, white, Hispanic,
yeah,
Asian. If you come from lower SES, you kind of understand some things. Like you
yeah,
understand it, like you've had to grind. You've you you
yeah,
you you can relate. Me and in fact Jess were just talking about that today. She was saying how much of a relief it was for her to talk with people first, that you don't got to feel ashamed for having made mistakes, because most of us there made mistakes, and for two, you're around people that understand. Like I'm going from working at only Burger King and then like doing construction to money that like I don't even know how to act, right? Like like
yeah.
I don't even it's just I never seen that kind of money. No one in my family sees that kind of money. And so there's a lot of other people come from similar situations. So you speak similar language, you relate similarly, and it's like it's comfortable when you're with people like that. You kind of understand it. But yeah, like back to the thing though, it wasn't me. It wasn't. I think it's a little less me going, "Hey, I'm just going to save the world," and more like, "I don't know what I'm doing here. I need some of y'all to help me. Can some people help?" And they helped. That's really more what happened.
Back to that topic alone is actually like, if you think about it, how do you now like it's good, like, I mean, you can at some point you feel that you can do it alone, right? Doing this community, doing this work, but and then you probably might feel like, hey, I don't want to like get maybe it's in your head that you can do it alone, and then you don't want to get people involved, other people involved, right? But because it can be because of fear, or it can be because of something else, but that basically doesn't create the community thing, right? It's basically you. So on that end, Rick mentioned that you just basically ask for help. Is it the same with Alan, Malin, and Zach? Is it the same with your community? Is it the same thought? Like, how do you get more people to be involved in iOS Dev, or right, or in Core Coffee, or in Cocoa Heads?
Yeah. I guess one, as far as finances for it, I mean, to be honest, it's relatively low enough where I can pay for it, right?
Yeah.
I'm fortunate enough to be in a position where I can pay for it. Do I want to? No. So, which is why I guess I tend to have sponsors. But at the end of the day, I'm not I'm not hurting for sponsors, right? Like it's just there. And then I do have a portion where people can like buy me a beer essentially as like a donation to the event, which is cool. But mostly it's me. I put it on a business card and call it a day, and we rock out as such. And if I have a sponsor, cool, right? They if they help the community in some way, perfect. You can be a sponsor. And then as far as help, yeah, at the beginning it was just me, and I was a little worried about sort of asking people for help because it was just like this is this is now my thing. This is my hypothetical baby now. Like
Yeah.
I make the decisions on if it lives or dies, essentially, right? And so it was a little tough, but fortunately, the community is amazing, and I was fortunate enough to have my current admins and co-hosts now. Again, Alex Silver, Frank Foster, and Ting Becker. And I did have another person prior before Alex, but he had to drop off because he was getting hired at a new company. And so he suggested Alex, and I've been very, 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 very lucky to have Alex now, especially when it comes to sort of the production value of iOS Dev Happy Hour. Like I didn't know you could spotlight guest talkers on Zoom. Like I didn't know that at all. But he was like, "Oh yeah, we could do this," and like, yeah, that's having those people help and have those different experiences and ideas have helped. You know,
Yeah.
make iOS Dev Happy Hour what it is today. And for people who came to the last one, like that was sort of a culmination of 10 months worth of experience hosting this event. So, and as far as getting people to come, it's just promotion, right? Just going on Twitter saying, "Hey, this is the event," and luckily the community is all for it. They're retweeting, they're sharing, they're telling people to come to the event. I mean, I've seen people respond to new developers, new people wanting to do iOS development, and they're saying, "Hey, you should come to iOS Dev Happy Hour. It's an amazing community," and that is just incredible in itself. And I'm not telling people like to go do that. Like that's people are doing that on their own. And so just iOS Dev Happy Hours purely alive because of the word of mouth.
Yeah. Malin and Zach, how about you? How do you get people in? Like, do you reach out to them and say, "Hey, we need speakers," or is it more of like people come to you? How does it work? Or yeah,
Mom, did you want to go first?
Oh yeah, sure. Um, I think, yeah, in terms of like getting speakers, that's definitely the hardest part. I think getting people to help out. I think like since I'm doing it together with Kai, we haven't really needed it in that way. But one thing we do have is we have sort of the core group of people that tend to attend Core Coffee, and I think that is something that has helped us, especially like I guess when we see new people come into the group, either if it's online or if it's in person, we sort of know who is usual, like who are the usual attendees. So, for example, if we are meeting at a coffee shop, we try to make sure that we're like, if there's a new person coming and there's like a bunch of new people sitting in one end and they might be quiet or a bit shy, we try to always like make sure that we mix up the group a bit and try to like sit with the new people and chat with the new people to make sure that new people feel welcome. And we try to do the same when we do online as well. And I think we don't have that many breakout rooms that we go up into, but we tend to make sure that if we know that there might be a group of new people, we try to also add someone who's a regular and add someone who we know are very happy to chat with and help new people. We tend to like maybe sort of influence the. I know that it's sort of a random breakout room, but we tend to add someone in there who we know is like very happy to chat with new people. So that's sort of become a thing automatically, and I think that is something we can rely on when we are in person as well. We know that everyone is always welcoming newcomers, and I think people are always happy with seeing people in our industry sort of wanting to go to those events. So that's been good. In terms of the speakers, I think we try to do the same thing. Like Kai and I, we always try to promote, like we always try to get people to speak at our events. So this is mostly on Excoders. But what we do is that we even tell people who might not have been speaking in the past, we tell them that if they have a specific topic, but they're not sure about it, or even if they want help workshopping a topic, we're happy to catch up with them and like come up with ideas if they want to become a speaker or if they want to do their first talk. We are happy to catch up with them and really encourage them to take that step. And I think once you've given your first talk, you will be a lot more comfortable giving your next talk. And I think it would be awesome if those people end up speaking at conferences in the future. So we really try to sort of be a bit proactive that way, that like we do try to reach out to people. And if we see that someone is working on something and they are sort of on the edge of talking about it, then we try to encourage them and help them out if that's something that they feel comfortable with. And yeah, just reach out. I think now being online, reach out to people on the internet has also been helpful. Like just ask people if they're up for talking as well.
Yeah.
How about you, Zach?
Yeah, it's actually a really good question, and I think the question about sponsors and speakers and communities, it all kind of ties together and has the same answer about how that works and how we manage it. So the community is relatively small in Sydney. Like for some context, so an in-person meetup might have been getting anywhere between 80 and 120 people pre-COVID, which is really good numbers and really good turnout for an in-person meetup. But so probably 60 to 70% of that were the same people every time. So the core community is quite small. And so what that means is that the speakers are often people we've had before, people that we know from the community. Like we're not getting, a fresh group of 120 people every month. Similar for the attendees. And then the sponsors kind of come from that as well. So to answer the first question first, the way we cover our costs, they are relatively low. We've been lucky that, at least for as long as I've been running it, the venue that hosts, and we consider them a sponsor, they are a sponsor, they sponsor the event, they give us space. They've always provided food and drinks as well. So we're really lucky in that sense. And I know that's not the case for other meetups, but
we've been really good. I got to promote that once.
Yeah.
People should go and try it out.
Yeah.
And also drink lots, of course.
Yeah, it's great that we've always had food sponsors, and that's continuing now in finding other venues. They're all offering to provide the food as well. So that's our biggest expense is the space and the people that we need to feed. And fortunately, we've always had like a major sponsor to partner with for that. Our ongoing costs are a little bit less. We have like Meetup and Zoom and website things. Like they're all manageable. Like so I run it alongside someone named Carl, and we've kind of decided that if worse comes to worse, we can cover all of those things out of our own pocket. Fortunately, we do have small sponsors for that. Like we have been paying for Zoom just out of we haven't even spoken to the sponsors about it because it's like $20 a month. It's not worth bugging them about, but we've had the website and the meetup costs just covered by a local company. They're like an agency. They do lots of development on sort of Australian-made iOS apps, and they've just happily footed the bill for that for a few years, and we're really grateful for them. But that kind of ties in because, for example, the CEO of Blue used to attend Coca Heads a lot and still kind of does from time to time. So everyone kind of knows this company, and the community is thankful to the company, but it's sponsored by the people who attend. And we've always kind of had people from the companies that sponsor in attendance. So everyone just kind of knows each other and works together, which is really nice. And that leads for finding speakers and presenters because often the companies that sponsor might want to give a talk. For example, we were hosting it at Atlassian for years before COVID, and whenever someone from Atlassian wanted to give a talk, we would prioritize that in the next month because, we need to help them out. They've been helping us out with the space, and that's, I think, a fine and fair exchange. So that's always worked really well. And then, people from other local companies tend to get their and to get their co-workers in as well. So, you might have one from a certain company come 1 month and they really like it and they bring along 3 or 4 others the next month. And that's one of the ways we can find new people as well. We don't have a huge amount of room for growth, just given that our capacity is around that 120 mark and we often would fill it. But we do get kind of that rotating group of people, and people come month in and not so much the other months. But because I run it with somebody else, from a volunteer help perspective, we don't need a lot of help. We are, between the sponsors that do a lot of the catering for us and us running and communicating with the speakers, we kind of have it mostly covered. So I guess from the community's perspective, the best thing that people can do to support us really is to just participate, be that via a talk or asking questions on the night, offering to present, full-length talks, shorter talks, like that kind of thing is sort of the best way for people in the community to help out, whereas the rest is taken care of. And I'm really lucky that I came into this thing that was established, and I didn't have to do the grunt work of getting it off the ground. I just had to keep it going, which is a really good position to be in. And it was really well run for so many years. And that kind of allowed me and, Marlon before me and people who've helped before that to just come in and, take this great meetup and keep it going, it's really awesome. And it's really fun to run as well.
There's this one question right now that just popped up. So I don't know. No, he says here there's a new community. Maybe this person is a new community leader, and according to this person, is that most of the times that when he or she reach out to a speaker, the speaker would probably consider the brand of the community. Like maybe is the community big, has a name or what.
Mm-hmm.
So since that person is new, so I don't know if he or she. So how do you suggest a newbie should start out to build a new community and bring in good speakers? So it's I guess this person wanted to create a community, but she or he wanted to get good those branded speakers. How do you encourage that? Malin, you have been speaking for in different events. Malin is a superstar here, so we can definitely ask her how can one person reach out to Malin and say, "Hey Malin, I have a new community right now. Would you be interested to speak in my community?" I'm sorry, Malin.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, I've been doing a lot of speaking lately. In general, I tend to. I mean, I think I'm not just speaking from me, but I think in general, having a community that has a specific cause can be really helpful, or has a very engaged community. I think it's even if you have a smaller meetup or a smaller community, if you know that people who go there are really gonna feel help, get help from what you're sharing, I think that is sort of something that would attract speakers. But also, I mean, of course, yes, it depends a bit on the speaker. I think if you are I think many people who usually speak at conferences or for bigger groups, they might want to have a practice run of their talk that they want to deliver, and then they want to polish it. So that's one way of doing that. Or encourage people to potentially reuse their talks that they've been giving at other conferences, so they don't have as much work for that. That can be helpful. But also, if those speakers feel like they want to reach a wider audience, maybe do a live stream of it, or offer to record it if that's something that they want, but as long as all the attendees are comfortable with that as well. So I think there are many different ways. I've been thinking a bit about that as well, with the way that you're naming a meetup, for example. I think in Sydney, Core Coffee is just such a known meetup name. I think Cocoheads is such a known meetup name. And that was something that we were thinking about when we started Core Coffee, should we actually try to go with something that is already established? But we decided that we wanted it to have a different format, so that's why we ended up with something else. But Excoders, for example, which is the other meetup I'm running, that is something that Alan started under a different name, but then Alan, a different Alan.
Not me. Not me.
You had this meetup in Vancouver, Alan?
Well,
No, but that one was started under a different name, and then there's Excoders in Seattle as well. So then they end up going with the same name, just so that they can have some sort of some people may be joining from the different areas, and that it's a bit more of a known name. So I don't know, maybe you can, if you want to start to answer this person's question, maybe if you want to start something, try to work with other meetups, even if you just go under your own name. Try to like find other meetups who might want to cross promote it. I know that in Sydney and Melbourne, you have a bit of a rivalry between Cocoa Heads, but I think overall people tend to attend Melbourne meetups even if they are in Sydney now when they are online. So try to find like other groups that you can collaborate with, and then offer like recording it if that's something that they want.
I'd say, just to chip in there, generally speaking, I've found the iOS community very willing to share what we talk about. I think software development in general is unique in that people are quite open. It's still a fairly new field. Well, it's not a new field, but it's new in like this kind of having this level of collaboration and this ability to share what we know. And I think people are really still willing to do that. And it makes it unique from other industries where people might see the idea of lifting somebody else up in the community as lifting up their competition or something. Like I think that's quite common in other industries, but it doesn't seem to be the case in the world of software, which is something I really like. And so people are just really willing to share what they're talking about and willing to help out other people. And so I think if you were, candid with somebody who you were approaching, don't be worried to approach them. The worst thing they're going to say is, no, I can't do that, or I don't have time, or whatever reason they give. And the best case scenario is they are going to talk. And in my experience with dealing with a lot of people trying to find talks for Coca Heads, people are just happy to share what they're working on and are happy to talk at a meetup. And you don't always have to offer something in return. Like it might be a small meetup that will grow, but they don't know that when they give that talk. But if they've got the time, I think a lot of people are going to be willing to help you out and to try and raise the profile of your meetup as well. And it seems to be this really friendly community, at least in iOS. And yeah, I like your chances of approaching somebody and them offering to talk at your meetup. So just give it a shot, and you never know what's going to come from it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think worst case, the person will say no, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But I think, just reach out to people and ask. And I think you're right, Zach. Like, be honest about the format and those things. But I think I agree. Many people are very willing, and I never got that feeling that anyone feels like they're losing their competitive advantage. I think everyone wants to sort of share.
Yeah, but you'd be surprised how common it is elsewhere. It's really strange.
And it's okay to actually get rejection. Like if somebody said no, don't take it personally, right?
Yeah.
It's possible that like that speaker at that time, at that moment is busy, right? It's not that he or she doesn't want to speak, right? Maybe you just misinterpret that because he said or she said no, then that person doesn't want to like be in a small type of meetup or a small type, So it's just like as Rick said, he got like how many people did he reach out to? 300 people. Of course, from the 300 people, he got like a lot of no's, right? Unless everybody, that was so lucky if everybody said yes, Rick. But
No, I'm not that charming.
And then like even
No.
like the even the
funny thing.
go. Sorry. Okay. Even the community week. Sorry. Even the community week. Like I've reached out to a lot of people as well, right? I mean, I got a lot of no's as well, and if I took that if I took that by heart, I would just feel as if it's like this must be a failure or something, right? Because a no is kind of like a rejection, right? Every no is a rejection. It's like a punch in your head that you might feel that you're like a less of person. But if you look at it as if like it's just what do you call this? Everybody has their own reason. It's not you. It's just like at that moment, at that time, they're just like, I guess, they have their own thing, and maybe in the right time they would say yes, right? Yeah,
You just caught them at the wrong time.
Yeah, you just caught them at the wrong time, and do not take it personally. So yeah, back to you, Rick. Go. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say that you're right. Like sometimes just you never know who will say yes. Like when we had like Chris Latner giving a talk for us, he gave an AMA for our event, and like I didn't expect him to have the time to do that, right? Like this guy's like the godfather of Swift, and he's and it really was nothing more than like He doesn't know me, right? Like I'm a nobody. I work at a no-name company. Nobody knows anything about me. All it took was me to be like, "Hey, dude, what you doing?" And he's like, he's probably like, "Who is this dude?" Right? Like, what is this guy all in my DMs? And I'm like, "Hey, we're putting on this thing. You probably don't, I'm sure you're busy, but if you weren't, it'd be badass if you really wanted to help us." And he's like, "I'm like, you are the GOAT of Swift." And then he responded with, "What's the GOAT?" And I was like, I'm like, "Man, the GOAT, like, you don't watch sports?" I'm like, "Dude, the GOAT is like the greatest of all time." I'm like,
Yeah.
"You didn't," he said, "People aren't going to know that." I said, "I bet they will. Let's find out." I said, "I'm going to call you the GOAT and we're going to find out." I'm like, "Dude, you've been in compilers too long." They got like the GOAT is known. It's a known thing. And so he joked around with it. And then he was like, he came back later and was like, "Yeah, I'll help." Like, who would have thought, right? Like, he's just, like I'm a total random dude just reaching out, trying to like get some help and get some cool talks. And yeah, he was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And it's funny because then whenever like we brought it up with like the rest of our leadership group, they're like, "Wait, like Chris Ladner?" Like they're assuming like this is some other Chris Ladner. I'm like, "No, man, the other one, the one not the one that built Swift. This guy, yeah, this guy works at the local like Ace Hardware. That's where this guy works at. He just said he's gonna give a talk. A different Chris Ladner, of course, that Chris Ladner." But anyways, yeah, it was like, he had no reason to do it. We got no money for that. We got nothing to offer him. But he just liked the mission, kind of like Malin said. He thought the mission was cool, and I think he also liked a little bit being known as the GOAT once he found out what the GOAT is.
We should like basically tweet right now. If you who's ever watching, just tag.
Do it.
Chris.
Chris Ladner is the GOAT.
Yeah, you're just like Chris Latner is the goat, right?
The GOAT. And the funny thing too is what he told me, I like barnyard animals. When he started his talk, he's like, "Yeah, I just want to say like Rick likes barnyard animals." I'm like, "Man, this guy, he's funny. He's so funny. He's so cool." Sometimes you think like these people are such high achievers, at least in my world, like I worked at Burger King. I like didn't succeed at anything in life, and then went to prison and then got out. And so when I see these high achievers, I'm like, they're going to be so different. But he came in and was just so cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah,
So,
the point is just ask.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's cool that you managed to get him on board. But I agree. Just send a message and see what happens.
See? Sorry, I'm looking at the board. I'm talking to in that board. I'm sorry. It's like a habit of mine. So yeah, before we close, I just want them to like whoever's watching us or whoever's gonna watch us in the future, if you like to tell more about what's your plan, what's the future. Because somebody asked here, Alan, what's the future of iOS R, iOS Dev Happy R, and then like what's your plan for it? And same with Rick, like what's next with the like this stipend program thing, and same with Malin and Zach. So what's the big plan, and then how can they be involved? Like, how can they help, right? So yeah, so we can start off with Zach. Sorry, Zach.
Okay, that's fine. Honestly, no big plans. We're just going to keep going. We're going to keep being there every month. Going to keep being the go-to Sydney iOS meetup. As far as I know, it's the only one. For people to attend, for people to talk at, for people to have a chat. I think the big thing for the next couple of months is moving back to these in-person events and trying to make everyone feel safe and welcome. Proper social distancing, but also trying to shift the idea that shift back to the idea that Cogaheads is an in-person meetup and that it's in-person first and make that a priority. But yeah, no grand plans, just trying to keep having good talks and create a place that people like and people feel welcome.
How can they be like involved in like Sydney Cocoa Heads? Like if they are interested on doing that, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Talking is probably the best thing. Offering to give talks. Most of the organization is down pat. But yeah, we always need speakers, and we very rarely have people booked more than a month out. So it can often be a scramble at the last minute to find talks. So yeah, just the more talks we have, the better. Talks of all all skill levels and also of all lengths of anything. Like everything is good. We're always happy to like go through any ideas someone might have to sort of workshop a talk from idea to creation with them, based on what we think the audience would like.
Yeah. Sorry for that. How about you, Malin? I'm sorry for that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, all right, that's all right.
Yeah. For coffee, like, what's the next plan? How can people be involved? How can they help?
Yeah, so I think we will we'll continue running them every second Sunday, but then once we do, even once we do get back to like being able to have some in-person ones, I think we will continue doing online meetups as well. So just like for anyone interested, just come by and join us and chat with other people. I think that's a great way to be involved. Just join in and sort of be a part of it. I think that would be awesome. But also, once we do get back to normal, if you have if you live in a place and there is no local community, I think I would definitely encourage you to just go ahead and start something and sort of build that local community, because I think it's so important for to have something like in your city as well. I think we noticed that a lot in Vancouver. There are many people who might be living in the US, but I think there are also people in Vancouver, even if we're so close to the border. So I think just having a place for people who are in your local community to be able to catch up, and if it's something that you don't have and you want to exist, I think just go ahead and create it and make something cool out of it, and just get started, and I think you will be able to figure it out from there. And also, if you
Yeah.
have any, like, if anyone has any questions, they can always send me a message as well, or join the meetup to just join in and ask questions there as well.
So it's as simple as asking a question, reaching out, right? You don't have to, like, don't be like don't overthink about it, don't overcomplicate things, right? Yeah. So
Yeah, when you
yeah,
create something, don't feel like you need to this like game plan of like how your meetup is gonna run for the next 5 years. I think just get started, put an event together.
yeah, that would be like hard. Like, if you started with that thinking of like, what's the long term goal of this meetup? I don't think you can start somewhere, right?
Yeah, but sometimes you overcomplicate things and you think like, oh, I need to have a proper website, I need to have a logo, like those type of things. It's nice, but I think it can come afterwards and you can figure that out.
Yeah.
So you're saying not to start off with the taxes. Like I was going to start off getting my taxes done for the year, just in case we get donate. No, don't do that.
Yeah. So we will go back to Rick after, but Alan, what is your plan? What's the plan for ISDIV, or what's how can people be involved and how can they help?
Yeah. So, as far as how can you help, as far as being like an admin or co-host, like I'm pretty set there. Unless you have some absolute unique talent that you think I can use, feel free to, tweet me. But I think for the most part, as far as being an admin and a co-host, I think I'm set. Now, as far as helping just in general, I think just being a part of the community, being a part of the iOS Dev Happy Hour community, is be a part of the iOS Dev community and be an active participant in those communities, I think can help. You can join our Slack. There's no like specific URL, so you can go to our website, iosdevhappyhour.com, and you can go down to the footer and you'll see Instagram, Twitter, and Slack links. You can join the Slack, you can follow on Twitter, follow on Instagram, and just be a part of that community. And then as far as what's next, um, of course, I'd love to plan ahead and say, "Oh yeah, I've got this going on and this going on." But kind of like Malin said, it's just I just started and then added things as they came. Like I didn't have a logo until what 5 months in. I didn't have a website till probably 6 months in. Like, I didn't have a Slack, I think, till 6 months in. So it's all of those kind of came as I felt like, oh, okay, I can add on. So I do have the idea that once at least the United States opens up, uh, I will do a iOS Dev Happy Hour in person. I do apologize to people who are overseas and etc. That you probably won't be able to join the in person ones, but I think the online version will stay as long as I feel I can manage and run it, which will be for the foreseeable future. Um, and so, yeah, I think the only thing that would be next that I know of, or not know of, but thinking about, is an in person one, more than likely in California because that's where I live. And yeah, uh, as far as what others should do if they want to create their own community, like Malin said, just start, just do it. Um, Even if you don't have speakers at the beginning, just put all your effort, I guess, into making your community as strong as it possibly can. And eventually, you may be big enough where people start asking you, could they speak, right? So it's kind of what I did. Just pour all my energy into the community itself, and people took notice. So
Yeah. How about you, Rick? Do you want to share the plans for underdog devs and how
No,
can these people help you? No, no,
no
just
way. I'm not giving y'all the secret sauce. No, no, it's fine. It's funny that Mom said that too with about the website because we still don't have a website. Like we literally are so like just homegrown. Isn't that the word? I think it's homegrown is what it's called. Or like when it's what's that thing with marketing like where you just use like word of mouth. Um, yeah,
is
well,
it
whatever that
bootstrapping
word is.
or whatever it is?
Yeah, like kind of bootstrapping. Like we just haven't had time. It's gone
yeah,
so fast, and we've had so much interest that like
yeah,
from so many people that it's just been hard. It's between like mentoring and nurturing our mentees and meetings and doing the events. Like we have talks sometimes, and it's just gotten really hard. We do have some cool stuff coming up for in person. We're based mostly out of Orlando, Florida. Um, so like that's where our registered agent is. That's where like our like we're gonna have like some in-person meetups. And the iOS Orlando meetup was a friend of mine. It was really cool. It's where I first got my real taste of like being around people, iOS devs, and was amazing. And he asked me to like kind of blend it with underdog devs. Like could they join? And like basically have underdog devs take it over. So I was like, yeah, that'd be
mm,
cool. Have it inside. They already have like a venue. They've been going for a long time. Really cool stuff. And so we're going to be doing that when it opens back up. So that's a whole new set of problems that we'll have to like tackle with that. And we have like some scheduled ideas of going into prisons and like giving like talks. It's ironically, I'm excited to go back in, right? Like, I'm who would have thought? Who would have thought? I can't wait to get back in there. And but because I have a lot of friends that will never get out, and they're still in there, and we want to go in and get people exposure, because a lot of them come from environments where they don't have that exposure. So we have that planned, but that's more in person, Central Florida, South Florida type of stuff. As far as
yeah,
like overall, uh, we're pretty tight with what we're doing. I don't think we're going to try to do too much because then what happens is you water down what you're doing, and what we're doing requires a lot of hands-on already. That is nurturing people, helping them get to a point where they're going to get hired, which we've already done with like a good number of people since we started at cool places too, like Slack and some other places. Um, Not just like anywhere. Not that anywhere is bad because I work just at anywhere. If you want to help, then reach out to Underdog Devs. We use mostly Twitter. We have Instagram and LinkedIn and stuff, but Twitter is our primary form of communication. Or I'm at RWorldX, so you can reach out to me. We're always looking for anyone that like is from a disadvantaged background, or if you want to be a mentor. What we do, we're getting to where we're a little more picky. We care that you're in the industry, you have experience, and that you're there for the right reasons, and you just want to help people from disadvantaged backgrounds. And if that's you, then yeah, we'd love like anybody to reach out. We can get you in. There's different levels of engagement, so just reach out and we'll go through that with you.
yeah.
Or you can always email me at rick@underdogdevs.org.
Did you hear that? Right? Those people who volunteer for the community. Sorry, you can volunteer with to Rick. I'm just
Right?
kidding. Yeah, right.
Volunteer for our car wash. We have a car wash that we need to raise this. We want money. We're raising that money. We're all about the
Yeah.
money over here. It's all about the
What do you call?
Benjamins.
Yeah. So before we like, I'm actually going to do closing remarks after this. It's just like basically this would be the last event for the whole week. The reason why I wanted to do like a community panel, community leaders panel, is the event itself is all about community, right? It's all about the people. It's all about helping one another. And this we basically got like a total of like 116 people who actually contributed during the week, like whether they're like working on the website, working on the venue, speakers, mentors, commentators, event logistic, like there's so much more. And then I'm very grateful for everyone who decided to like step up and say, Michi, I want to help out, right? And I really like, especially the leads has the like the most burden during the week. I do appreciate everybody, and I just want to like wear this first because somebody that's just this one, okay. I'm guessing you're Darshil, okay. We don't own this. If we can do this, like we can have like an official merchandise. We can't do that. We'll be like sued. Okay. Okay. Just reading here. So after this, if Malin, Allen, Rick, Zach, if you're interested, you can go to Gather Town and you can, and then I can just like do one stream of thanking everybody who made made this event, like who made this week possible, right? Like it's crazy, right? This week is crazy. I don't know, like every volunteer, every single. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know how this happens, right?
Yeah, I think we.
You
I
made
also
it
want to
happen,
thank you,
Michi.
Michi.
What?
I want to thank you for putting this all together and all of the organizers who have helped out. But I think it was
Yeah,
a great initiative, and I appreciate you. I know you did it last year, but I appreciate that you
yeah.
did it this
Yeah.
year
Oh,
again. It's been awesome.
yeah. I actually didn't know how it's snowballed to what it is right now, but yeah, it's just crazy, right? This whole week was crazy in a way that I can't imagine like 100 people, 100 plus people volunteering, right? Being part of it, or like just completing the venue in like a short time span. So those kind of things. Just even the website, and then Firebase. Um, you give us problems. By the way, sorry. But yeah, I do appreciate everybody here in the panel, and you inspire so much people, like so much iOS developers out there, and keep on doing what you're doing. Keep on inspiring more people to be like be it's hard to say, but I cannot say be a community leader, but more of being able to put themselves out there and just help someone, because you don't have to be a community leader first. You can just like help one person first, right? And then if you feel that you wanted to help some more, then I guess that's kind of like the goal in the long run, to say, hey, I can probably build a community, or I can just like start off with just meeting somebody and then slowly it grows. So don't I think as a community leader, you don't see it like 5 years from now, right? You see it like you just go where it goes. Fix hole as you need to, like like for example, like Alan, just a website took him 5 months before setting it up, right? Like, I mean, even for the WWDC Community Week, like I do not know what will happen, right? For the starting May, right? I don't know, like even like the design, the site, and I have something in my head, right? But it's just like I have to translate it to every single people, like working and making sure that it's being translated that way. So, and it's kind of like if somebody suggested to me, Mitchie, it would be nice to have this. Okay, we can do that now. Okay, so it's not as if that I planned that one, right? It's just like at the moment that was a good idea. That is something doable at the moment, and somebody wants to step up, right? It's kind of like that, yeah. So don't overthink it. Just do it, right? So Rick, Malin, Alan, and Zach, thank you so much. and I'm very honored to be like just being in this video with you. If this was like, if this was like in a like a speaker, right, sitting with you, right, but this one is a video with you, um, and keep on inspiring more people. Like if there's something that I can do to help, let me know. Just reach out to me, and I'll try my best to like help. Okay, thank you so much. Clap,
Thank
clap,
you.
clap,
Thank you,
everybody.
Mitchie.
Thank
So
you. Thank you.
thank you so much. Right. So the next step is like if you're going to the venue, right? There's the link on the side. You can just jump in on the chat, and then for people who's watching and waiting for the winners for the hackathon, right? Have you seen the projects? That was really interesting. The projects were really interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't really expect the projects. Like I was just
Yep.
thinking of some,
Yeah, I think
right?
people really put a lot of work into them, and that was awesome to see.
I know. That was like when I was like looking at their project, like, wow,
Yeah.
that was good. Yeah, wow, that was so good, right? Like you cannot choose like who's the winner. Yeah, but we're going to announce it after this. So give me a while, like give me 5 minutes. I'm just going to add some pictures on the slide. Who's the winner? And then just enjoy first at Gather Town. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Okay, hi everyone. So if you also want to like add any comments as well, we can definitely use the Padlet a while ago that we used for the the community leaders group get together, right? So I didn't erase it anymore or what. Let's just like use it, reuse it. So first thing first, I guess the most exciting part. I mean, a lot of people here are like waiting for the hackathon winners or the scavenger hunt winners. So I'm going to announce it today. But before that, I would like to congratulate all the every participants from the hackathon. They really like what do you call this? They really step up. Their apps were amazing. Most of them stayed 24 hours, right? Just finishing all of those stuff, and it's just amazing to see the output in less than a day, right? Wait, let me check on the Padlet. Here. Okay, so you can definitely use this as a way to like reach out to me here. But I would like to congratulate everyone, every single one of you. I just want to like let's just look at like just give an idea what were the projects made before we announce anything, right? So for example, for Team Isho, actually for me, if I sum this up, it's basically like watching together using like a FaceTime, using FaceTime. Can you imagine that you can watch a movie together, watch anime together, and you can just like the movie will pause and play at the same time when you're watching it, right? They should definitely integrate that next year to the Apple developer app, right? So we don't need the watch party anymore. I'm just kidding. Um, Next here is the sarcastic pet. So if you want to know, right, from Team Universe, if you want to know, right, what your pets are thinking, right, what your pets are saying, so definitely use this app, right? So they actually implemented image recognition ML, natural language recognition, localization speech. So they mix things up and more. And here, Soteria. Soteria from Big Sur Hikers. Are you there, right? Team Soteria. So here it's basically if you think about it, it's more of like a safety app. They want to make sure that by using your watch or your iPhone, you can detect like if there's something in the if you're in if there's in something in danger. Like for example, their example was like if there's a bear nearby, and then you'll be notified through your watch. So nice job, right? And then here, stay in time, the magical musician. So, well, Thomas was really like on the like go. I mean, on the go here. And then I'm happy that like his girlfriend and him were working on this because they are musicians, right? So they build like a metronome app, and then they use the sound recognition API to allow users to count themselves in with the snap. So that's the thing. That's the addition here, right? Because it's necessary to like it's easier for um, instead of just like tapping on the devices and you jamming into it, right? So nice job, Thomas. And then we have Navi by the Legends of Zelda. So Navi is more of like if you're talking to someone via FaceTime, they basically add subtitles to it. So from here, they leverage a speech recognition API with SharePlay. So and at the same time they were localizing it to make sure that the end goal is to actually create that localization. Of course, that if I'm not a native what do you call this? If I'm not the native English speaker, I would basically hear you and I can read the you can talk to me and basically that's it's translated in the app. So it makes things more accessible. So that's for Navi. And then we have ShareBits. Are you there, ShareBits? Right? The team two and one half, right? So So ShareBeats team, it's basically they created like a game where you can play together, and then it's actually like with the FaceTime thing, right? So it's basically a reimagining of creating pixel art and making use of the capabilities of iOS 15, Mac OS Monterey with SharePlay. The thing that I noticed in their video, the thing that I noticed in your video was like, I can feel the fan of your MacBook. I'm just kidding, right? I can hear it. I don't know how what do you call this? How memory intensive that was, but yeah, it was funny when I thought it was my MacBook. Okay. And then See Me. Okay, See Me on the other hand was like Team See Me is their team name. It's like it's actually for visually impaired people. So they actually leverage the what do you call this? The I think it's the face framework wherein they used it kind of like generate a spatial audio. So first they use vision, right? So if you see something, right, and you kind of like target it there. Now, if you have, let's say, an iPhone, maybe in the future, Apple glasses, maybe. So if you just what do you call this? Scan your iPhone there, it would emit a certain sound, so you would know that the item is there. So basically, it's more for the visually impaired. If you think about it, like if they kind of like tags object, right, around you, and then what do you call this? If they kind of like tag objects around you, and then they added a certain specific sound, so that if they walk and that object is being scanned or something, they would know the sound and they would know, oh, this is the object. So that's actually See Me. And then we have the IAI. So this one is more of like if you actually have like a if you're having a problem like reading, right? More of like a visually impaired. See, it's so many accessibility apps here, right? That's so amazing. Um, all you need to do is like just take a picture of the poster or whatever it is, and it basically generates a transcription, and then from there I believe that in the end they're aiming to like have a sound, and at the same time is like you can now read it in a very more better way, right? So I believe they leverage here the what they call this, they use the I forgot the exact what do you call this, I forgot the exact API that was used on this one. I think it's Vision as well, and there's one more, but basically that's what they have. So yeah, and then we have Soundage by Made in Riore. So here it's more of like they're trying like to join songs and learn a new language. So with Soundage, you basically recognize the audio, and then a specific part recognize a specific part of the audio, and then when the users find the song, you can choose to discover facts about the song. So it's more of like, oh, I'm learning more about the song. So I think they were planning to leverage Shazam Kit with this one. So yeah, so those were the 9 apps that was provided to us in the one day hackathon, and super nice job for everybody. Sorry for like doing checkpoints every 4 hours, and I'm waking you up just to say if you're okay or if you need to drink water or what, right? I just want to make sure that in the hackathon you're you're doing okay, right? Especially if you lack sleep and stuff. So yeah, sorry for poking you every 4 hours. Yeah. So are you ready to know who's the like the winner or something? Uh, okay. I don't know if you're. I don't know. I can't hear you, so I'm just assuming that yes is the answer. So give me a while. I just change my screen so that nobody can see who's the winner.
Michi screen joined.
Okay, here it is. Closing remarks. Who's the winner, right? Do you have any favorites there? Right? Do you have any favorites? Right? So if you actually voted for today, by the way, if you're wondering how the winners were chosen, it was voted by the community. We gave around 3 hours window time a while ago for people to vote, and it was actually close, especially the first and second one. So yeah. So here we go. Closing remarks. Time to end this. No, I'm just kidding. So the winners, I guess the first winner that we want to announce is the scavenger hunt. I do not know who joined the scavenger hunt down there, but if you are there, you get a chance to win the nano leaf something. Until now, I can't remember the whole world, but it's nano leaf shapes hexagon starter kit. Okay, are you ready? Who is the winner of the scavenger hunt? Drum roll, please. Dun, 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 dun. It's Darshil Agrawal. Are you there? Are you there, Darshil? Is Darshil there? If maybe I should like what do you call this? Uh, are you there? Can you let me know if Darshil is there? Sinchat, can you let me know if Darshil is there? But congratulations, Darshil. Oh, you there. I need some yes. Oh, congratulations, Darshil. You're here. You're actually the winner of the yeah, congratulations. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Sinchan. I just need like to see. Like so Sinchan is like my voice there for a while. Okay. Next. Of course, everybody's waiting for the winning announcement of the hackathon. So, Darshil, I'll discuss to you how to claim this prize. Let's talk via email for this one. Okay, and then we'll move to the next. I know people are more excited. By the way, here's the thing. I know everybody worked hard for the hackathon, right? I know some of you might get disappointed if you didn't win or something, but don't be disappointed if you actually learned something during the day, right? It's worth it, right? That's the purpose of a hackathon. Actually, I know it's all about competitions right now, but to be honest, a hackathon is more about just learning a new technology during the day or during the week. And the only good thing is that there's a prize for it, right? So here's the thing: if you actually learned something yesterday when you're building this, you're already a winner. Okay, don't feel bad if you, because we only have top three prizes, right? I would be happy if everybody get a prize. By the way, everybody again would get an app from the list that I have announced. I'll send you an email. Everybody who participate, just let me know what app you prefer. Okay, you have that already. Okay. So, but for the prize, we only have 3 prizes. Okay. Sorry. So don't be sad. Okay, let's start. Are we ready? Are we ready, guys? Is everybody ready? For the third prize, the hackathon. For the third, before we do the third prize, let's announce the Swift package index winner first, right? Yeah. So for the Swift package index, since nobody actually created a Swift package app and then uploaded via the Swift package index, the solution that we created here, the solution I created, it was like whoever uses the Swift package index, I just put it in a random generator, like a circle, right? Like the one like you can find online, and whoever was lucky enough to touch to be part of that roulette or something gets a prize. Okay, but all of you did so much good work on this one, so don't feel bad about this. This kind of like includes luck as well. So yeah, so for the person for the group who's gonna win $25 dollars of Apple Card, but it's in the US. But we can definitely discuss if you're not based in the US or something. Let's discuss something about that after the event. But for whoever that group is, you basically get $25 Apple Card, which you can use to buy maybe items from the Apple Store or an app, right? So for our Swift Package Index winner is dun, 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 drum roll. It's Team Sarcastic Pet Team Universe. Sorry, mali. It's Sarcastic Pet Team Universe. Okay, are you there? I hope you can take a picture as your group and tweet it out. Right? I just want to I don't know if you're happy to win this, but yeah, you got the $25 gift card courtesy of the Swift Package Index per member. Okay. Yeah. So how's their Sinchen? Are they there? Sorry. Okay, I'm just like waiting for a reaction. But it's really hard, like being here and I don't know the reaction. But again, congratulations to Sarcastic Pet for winning the Swift Package Index. So there were 5 teams who actually used the Swift Package Index that time. Okay. Oh, okay. Zing, your team won. So well, I'll just discuss on how to claim this one. Okay. Congratulations. Congratulations. I guess Kanishka mentioned that she hasn't had any sleep yet. That's why I guess Kate and Kanishka probably are asleep right now. Yeah. So congratulations. Okay. Now we go to third prize. Okay. Any guess who's the third prize winner? Right. I wait. Let me check the Padlet because I cannot see it on my end if somebody's messaging. Right. Camera. Who are your bets, right? Who is your for you? Who is your third prize winner? Right? Any? Oh, there's really yes, we're ready. Okay. Wait. Anybody who would like? Who's their favorite? Like for the third prize, right? Can't wait to know. Okay, okay. But any guess? Who did you vote for? Second prize. Third prize first. Okay, wait. Okay, I'm gonna give you the announcement. So the third place winner. Some people commented that I can't wait to actually get this app when it's out. That's how people kind of like commented on it. So somebody says here one of the winners will be from Brazil. Oh, how did you predicted that? No, I'm just kidding. No. I don't. Who's this? No, I'm just kidding. No, that's okay. It's okay. So for the third prize winner, who's gonna take home 3 air tags. So 1 air tag for each member. Okay. So the comments were from there was like, if this is out now, I would download it, right? I would get it out on the App Store. Yeah, right. So the winner is dun 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 drum rolls, please. Is Navi, the team the Legend of Zelda team. Do we have is Jordy and Matthews there? Brazil strong. Anybody from the team of Legend of Zelda? I don't know if you're still awake, right? So Navi is actually like as I mentioned, it's an app that what do you call this? Basically gives you a while ago I just said it correctly, but it basically give you a transcription of what's being said by the person in the what do you call this, FaceTime while you're talking to them at FaceTime, right? So yeah, so I don't know if you're here. Cintron, are they there? Anybody from Team Legend of Zelda? I think they're asleep. Should we take a screenshot of this or something? Are they? I think they're asleep. Sorry, yeah, I do understand the time zone and everything. I think they're like it's already early morning there. Yeah, I guess they're totally asleep. Okay. Congratulations, third place, the Team Legend of Zelda. And next is the second place. Any guess who's the second place? Anybody who would like to guess? Drum roll, please. No one's guessing, no one's betting anything. Okay, let me announce. So for the second place, who do you think, or who do you think is the winner? Oh, Sinchan saying I, right? That's Sinchan's bet. Like, how about the others? Anybody else? It's hard to like no hard to feel like what's happening there. But okay, for the second place, drum roll please. Dum 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 dum. I hope you're there. For the person or for the group who's gonna win mini HomePod, for each member, it is Team Share Beats, Team 2.5, right? This photo is perfect for you. You have two people and one half on the other side. So congratulations, Jao, Victor, and Christian. I don't know, are you there? Are they there, Sinchan? Congratulations, guys. You're gonna bring home a mini HomePod each. Are they there, Sinchan? Yay! Hey, by the way, don't forget to take some pictures and videos and share it out. Yeah, congratulations, guys. I love what you did. It's very playful, and I think there's so much potential in SharePlay, right? In FaceTime. For me, there's so much like it kind of like could change how FaceTime works now, right? Yeah, congratulations. Okay. And lastly, who do you think is the first place? Anybody? Anybody would like to suggest do you think is the first place? Anybody who would like to share who's in the first place? You can share it on the QR code, right? I don't know if you know that. Sorry. Okay. Is the suspense there? Okay. Again, I would like to say that everybody's a winner, right? It's just that this is just like we have the first, second, third place, but your app was good. Your app was good. I mean, some of the apps there, like if you win or you lose, can be released if iOS 15 is already available, right? I would definitely download it. Okay. Okay. Somebody saying here, there's somebody said, see me. There's somebody saying that I'm putting my bet. What? Wait, did you delete it? You're putting on your bet on what? Who is that? Come on. It kind of like disappear. Okay. Sorry. But anybody else would like to give their guesses? Okay, let's go. For the first place, who's gonna win either it's a one only. Not yeah. It's either they choose like an Apple Watch SE or an Apple TV 4K the with the lower gig RAM. Okay, so who's your guess? Do you have a guess, Sinchan? Okay, congratulations everyone. Okay, I just want to say congratulations everybody who submitted. Okay, and whatever happens, I salute you for just completing the whole process. Okay. So for the first place, drum roll please. Dun, 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 dun. It's Simi. Okay, Simi. It's Simi. It's the vision for what do you call this? People are saying I issue or Simi. Oh, okay. Oh, it's Simi who won. It's actually very close. Simi and what do you call this? Sharebit Jao team 2.5 won. It was very close. This was very close. So congratulations on winning this one. It's actually an app that enables you vision. If you have a vision impairment or if you're visually, if you have trouble seeing or like if you're blind, you can basically use this app that basically tags object with different sounds. So yeah, so congratulations, Simi. And as Sinchan was like, people were saying Isho or Simi. Isho was also awesome, right? I love it. I love Isho. It's like I'm gonna use that as well when it's out. So whose team is this one? Oh, both Eden and Ed, congratulations. Take a picture, and then maybe tweet it out or something. I hope you can like capture the sound of happiness, but if it's a picture, it's okay. Yeah, congratulations. But congratulations to everybody. I hope you actually continue the app that you're working on, like eShow. That's like definitely a lot of potential, right? Or right? IAI, sorry, has also a lot of potential, right? The music, what do you call this? The sorry, I haven't memorized everything. Um, what do you call this? Stay in time has a lot of potential. A lot of like musicians would definitely use this. So Teria can definitely be a big help to other what do you call this? To someone who's in need. So definitely continue this, Team Big Sur. And then Soundage, guys, implement it, right? Go put the Shazam kit and make learning more fun with music, right? So yeah, so did I mention everybody, right? I just want to say, and sarcastic pets, that was very hilarious. I laughed when I saw it, right? I can't stop laughing when I see the cat was being sarcastic. So yeah, so again, congratulations everyone. I know if you didn't win, it doesn't mean that you're not good or something. It's just that we just had the prize, but keep on coding, keep on exploring iOS 15 and release those apps, right? That's basically the start. So yeah, so I just want to congratulate everyone again. And then we'll basically close this now. So that WWDC week is officially over for the WWDC community. So first thing first, I just want to say thank you. Thank you to everybody who made the event possible, right? I guess without anybody, well, like without the volunteers, without the people attending, without people tweeting out, like they were enjoying the whole WWDC community experience, this week wouldn't be possible. So thank you so much. So I just want to like give a shout out to the like 116 in total volunteers who contributed their time during the week. So I know this is like a bit small right now, but we're planning to add this officially in the venue. And I'll tell you more about that later, but we'll definitely have a hall of people who actually have contributed and added to the venue so that others can see, that you were a part of this, right? You were part of the week. So thank you so much to every volunteer, every speaker, every social media team, every event logistic, every organizer, every commentator, every mentor, right? Everybody. Thank you. Thank you for like just like stepping up and say, hey, I want to help. Yeah. And next would be I want to say thank you to our community partners. Yeah, because it's all about the community, right? Oh, thank you, Sinchan. Thank you to all who's saying congratulations to us all, right? Yes. Yes. So and then for the community partners, we have Swift PH, Sydney Cocoa Heads, Swift India, the Swift Package Index, iOS DevR, Core Coffee, and Diversity in Swift. All of this group, almost like Swift PH and iOS DevR, Core Coffee, and Diversity in Swift, even created their own events all week long. So I congratulations like on the event this WWDC week and bringing people together. And for all the organizers, the event organizers during the week, I think we got 30 plus events that was hosted in Gather. We just want to say thank you for reaching out, finding those speaker, finding those panelists, talking to people. I hope you actually have learned, especially those first time. We have like first timers. We have a lot of first timers here. I hope you enjoy the experience and learn from it, and just met new people. That's the thing. That's the intention, right? So yeah, and then thank you so much, community partners. I hope next year, if we have a next year, we'll still be community partners again. And then, of course, our sponsors. Okay, I guess this was like one of the challenge when before I started everything because Gather has a cost, right? But then I just have to like push and get volunteers with or without sponsors, and I just trusted that everything will happen. Everything will just be okay, right? It's just that. But I'm just thankful that all of a sudden some sponsors came in um, during the time in need. So first of all, our platinum sponsor, Good Notes, thank you so much for sponsoring us and having the sketchnoting app and giving away promo codes to everybody who've attended. Thank you so much, and we hope that you also had a good time. Just meeting the communities or meeting the people, meeting the iOS developer during the week. And next is, of course, Max Stadium, which is a gold sponsor. I just want to give a very big shout out to Max Stadium because they were the first sponsor who actually agreed to support the event. They just asked like, what help do we need and stuff, and then I just like send this is what we need, and they kind of like look into it and they replied back and say that they wanted to help. So thank you so much for doing that, right? Because like like it's to be honest, I said like I got a few rejections before getting the sponsors, but it's not, if I didn't like keep on just getting reaching out to people, I won't get any, right? So if you're a community leader, just go ask, try, just keep on asking and try reaching out to people and and ask for help if you need help, if you just need help. Yeah. So thank you so much, Max Stadium. By the way, I forgot. Good Nose is also hiring. You can check the job board. Max Stadium is also hiring. You can check the job boards. And then, of course, for our silver sponsor, we have Vonage and Setup. So for Vonage, they were the one who gave away the Nano Leaf Hexagon Smarter Kit. So thank you for that. Aside from sponsoring, is thank you for actually giving away something to raffle during the week. And for Setup, they're actually every year they do something like the kind of like a survey, right? They kind of like do like a survey to know how Mac users use the Mac. So if you want to be part of their survey, or if you want to know more about their reports, the link is actually in the landing page. All you have to do is tap on that, and then it basically goes to learn more about the report. So yeah, it's in the landing page. Yes. And for a bronze sponsor, who is Crunchyroll, okay, it's a like anime app. If you're into anime, Crunchyroll is the thing. They're actually looking for developers as well. So you can check out the job board. And special thanks to Capital One and Air Apps for actually posting a job at our wall, right? You can check out their, what do you call this? Check out the job board for the list of jobs available. And if you need help on that, just message me on if you have questions about it as well. So thank you to our sponsors, and also would like to say thank you to our community heroes. We have 3 community heroes here. Adrian got 2 tickets to support others who can't afford the ticket, and then we have Rogelio as well, who actually supported 1 ticket. Thank you, and Air Gift as well, right? Sai, thank you for this. Sai wanted to help, but he's an indie developer. He just want to try it and see like what he can do to help the community, right? And of course, to all the indie developers who actually gave away promo codes, thank you so much for that. We're gonna raffle it after, and we're gonna like give like we're gonna like also do like an exchange promo codes to the other indie devs, so that you can actually have one of those as well if you said that you're gonna give like promo codes. Yeah. And to our individual supporters, so these are the people who actually bought a ticket. I think we got like 30 plus individual supporters. We tweeted it out whom they are, and I'm sorry I wasn't able to list them all down here, but I would just want to say thank you for supporting the event, because like without anybody, like I mean, everything has a cost, and then we have to think about that as well. So yeah, thank you. And then announcement. Yeah, the final announcement. Okay, this is basically the end of the week, the last event. And one thing that we're gonna like experiment on is because is something like this, because like somebody reached out to us and asked maybe like if we can still keep the venue, right? It's already built and stuff, and it's way better than Zoom or Google Meet or what. So it would be nice to like have gather around for a community event. So right now the main announcement here is that we're actually thinking about that. It means that we're planning that maybe starting next month, other communities can actually starting this month, you can definitely use it now because we paid for it. Let's take advantage of that. Sorry, let's take advantage of that. So for next month, of course, we have to think of a way to make sure that we are afloat, right? That's one thing. So we're gonna try to experiment on things like which communities are interested to use the venue, how many are you, how much would be the budget for it. So if it's a nonprofit community, like if you're like doing nonprofit work and you just want to use the venue, reach out to me and I'll let you know how the process goes, right? Yeah, that's one. And number two, of course, if let's say you're planning to do a conference, right? If you're planning to do a conference and you're looking for a venue like gather and you don't want to like create the structure anymore and stuff, you can definitely use the venue, but I would suggest that you pay for the expenses of using the venue, right? Because for sure, if it's a for profit, then you have to like basically pay for it, right? This is a volunteer effort by everyone, and I would definitely whatever it is that would be helping out the community as well. So yeah, so basically, it's short pay what you use, right? We'll only like support it for free if it's like a nonprofit community, but we have to plan ahead because it has cost. Okay, so that's the major announcement. It means that the venue will live on until next year or until whatever year. So I just want to say, I want to give a shout out to our design team, right? Um, Design team is Steffi, who managed to work on the website and stuff, and the pub mats, the one that you see right now, that's Steffi. The second one, of course, the venue, our event design lead, Ethan. I know you're there. Hello, hello, are you there? Yeah, I just want to say that Ethan like has worked hard on this to make it happen, and I know you. I don't know if you love it. Say if you can give a cheer to Ethan. Woo! And then next is like if you see the banners, right? If you see the banners, the hall, the app hall, right? I didn't have time to do it anymore. I wanted to do it on my own. I guess I was so happy that we have Rishika. So halls, app halls banner, that's Rishika. Congrats. Thank you, Rishika. I know I kind of like pushed you. I'm sorry, joke lang. That was just a joke. I was just kidding. But thank you for doing that. I was just kidding, lol. And then of course Davina who helped out with creating the posters that was announced on social media, and then the little items on the halls. So those are like the team who made who's our total design team. So if you actually like bump into them and gather, say hi to them and say, yo, nice work or congratulations. And or if maybe you can tag them on Twitter just saying thank you for the venue and stuff. Yeah, and for the website, if you're seeing that, right, if you actually go to the volunteers page, I'm gonna like change this one. Wait.
Michi screen joined.
Okay, so for the volunteers, you can actually see this, right? These are like, not everybody is listed here yet, but we'll add everybody by the end of the week or next week. You just have to rest first. So here's the design team. Here's the web development team. We have Ollie for the website, Jay for the website, guys, Umar, if you bump into them, Kunal and Sak. So say hi to them. They're responsible for the site. They have worked on this like first week of May and stuff. So thank you guys. And for the event logistic team, you have Sinchan there. Sinchan is the one I'm talking to right now. So say hi to Sinchan. Thank you, Sinchan. Congratulations. We have Asa. The video, if ever you see somebody who's handling the video, he's not here right now. He probably is asleep. We got Chris there. he managed to basically almost all the videos he was there to stream it, right? And then Jess, I saw you're there, right, Jess? So Jess, Mark, are you there, Mark? Sachin, Nive, Akive, Muzam, Hamza, and Kunal for the Discord bot. Thank you. Those are the event management. Everybody, everything related to the event management team. They're right people. They're the people who made it happen. And for the social and documentation team, we have Raj. I don't know if he's here. I think he's not here yet, but Raj, Adele, Gokul, Islam, it's Nahel, and Javon, right? Javon is there. Hi, Javon. Thank you for all the work on the social media team, and for the commentators, right? Every day they do comments and they give you the updates and stuff. I want to give like a big shout out to Jordy, right? Woo! I don't know, like he managed the time zone and stuff. He tried to make sure to actually include those people like first timers. He wanted to make it more diverse, right? I mean, he didn't just like okay, let's just lead the commentator team and stuff. No, what he did was let's find more. Let's make the group diverse, right? Let's get first timers. Let's mix first timers and those people who are already like into this. So if you think about it, he step up and become a leader, and um, just he wanted to make sure that everything, as much as he can, everything is represented. So a big shout out to Jordy. If you see him on here or on Twitter, just tag him and say, Jordy, you did a very good job. And of course we have Anton, or known as Swiftly, Sai, Manider, Anna, Ting, PBJ, Andy, Javon also did the talk, Jerome or App Force One, Jess, Michael, Stefan, Matilde, Class, Aidan, Tim, Jordan, Karin, and Malin, who was part of the commentator team before the indie dev. Thank you for like making it like making the week exciting, right? Just like giving your comments and feedback on what's up. And for the scavenger hunt, whoever have joined the scavenger hunt, I like to give a shout out to Sidak and Kanishka for giving everybody, that moment of fun, just going around and finding clues, and just trying to relieve the WWDC experience, like the memory of WWDC, because most of the questions are related to WWDC, and we added some coding questions. And then lastly, for the community leaders, Charmaine and C hosted the WWDC Pictionary. Of course, Malin and Kai was like hosted the Core Coffee. And of course, we have like Alan who hosted the ISDevR. And we have the Diversity Sweep team. To all the community leaders. So thank you for doing that all week. And of course, for the events, these are all the people in the events, right? So I just want to like if we want to like see every like in every division, the speakers, like the beginners group, we have Omar, Riley, Sai, and Chris. Thank you. For the student group get together, Rudrang, Yuma, Gokul. Sorry, Gokul, the picture is wrong. And Kanishka. Thank you for coming to me and asking, letting me know that you want to share to the students your experience. Thank you so much. Then we have Ishmeet, right? Ishmeet actually reached out to Paul and then did the Let's Talk About Swift with Paul. And we have Eliza, Yugantar, Valsat, Marcin. So here, this is like the Swift UI group get together. And then we have like the indie dev group to get together. We have, of course, Malin and Kai. Thank you for leading this. Vidit, Christian, and Chris. Thank you for being part of the panelists. And we have the freelancer group there together. Duncan, thank you for taking, if you're there, thank you for like stepping up even in a short time span and making sure that you're, as much as you can, you created like a diverse panel. Thank you so much. So we got Duncan, James White, Matthias, Mark, Valsat, Donnie, and Malin. And for the women group get together, Nadine, I don't know if you're here, but Nadine also stepped up, right? Yeah, she initially said that she don't know any female in the I only a few. She knows a few, but few female iOS developer because she's new in the industry. But you know what? She gained so much friends by just organizing this. So we got Kim, Ting, AJ, Jamie, Suejung, Jenny, and Lisel as speakers. And for Asian group get together, shout out to Abdi. Abdi, are you there? Wow, okay. This is like one of the biggest Asian group because we got 10 speakers in every like part of Asia. So 10 countries were represented here. We have Nico, who's also an Indonesian, but he lives in Switzerland, hosted the event. We have Michael, who also helped out on the organizing the event. Shout out to Michael for his new baby. Congrats. And we have the speaker Xavier, Min, Tuan, Ben, Asis, Garima, Nishan, Songwook, Rafasis, and Steffi. Thank you for sharing your like what it's like in the iOS ecosystem right now. And then for the content creator group, we have Maninder. First time he did it. He bring on Scott, Bagak, and Manyang. And what's missing here is Katsumi, but we'll add it as well. So and then okay, I think there's just a part missing, but of course for the community leaders, we have what do you call this? For the community leaders, we have Rick, Malin, Zach, and Alan, right? So, and of course, none but the least, we just want to say to thank you to all the mentors. We got 33 mentors here, right? All week long who dedicated their time to at least help somebody during the week. So we have Peter, Michael, Diego, Chris, Thomas, Yugantar, Ishmeet, Michael, Daniel, Dylan, Ruslan, Jerome, Adrian, Valsat, Miguel, Elijah, Vikram, Rafael, Niti, Leo Font, Romain, Mustafa, Clement, Sharon Wong, Xavier, Juan Pe, Jorge, Neil, Tomas Lopez, Chris Barker, Chris, Tiago, Abdul. So thank you so much for the whole week for making it possible. Sorry if it's like just like the credits, right? It's just basically the credits. But I want to appreciate every single person who made this event possible because, well, if for some people they say like Michi organized it and stuff, but for me, without you, without every single individual here who contributed, who did the job during the week or during the past month, this wouldn't be possible. So I would like to say thank you so much for everything. And here somebody says like all the love for Michi, but actually all the love for everybody, right? Okay, so thank you so much. And I'm gonna basically end this now. So the venue, you can still stay there, like maybe for an hour or two. On R2, I'm going down as well. And then I hope you enjoy the week. And I hope, the community spirit wouldn't stop in WWDC. It would, after this, let's do some more stuff, right? Some people were just suggesting to do another hackathon. Maybe let's see, like maybe after 4 months or 6 months, right? So let's see about that. And then more people can actually participate. Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you. I'm gonna like close the stream now and go there and see you. Congrats, everyone.